Everyone, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Not loud enough.
Hare Krishna. One more time, Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Your neighbors? Immediately 911. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think they heard us.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Rumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Gurve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Krishna Namaha. Yam Pravajantam Anupeta Peta Krityam Dvaipano Viraha Katura Juvaha Putreti Tanvaitaya Tarvo Vinedustam Sarva Bhuta Hidayam Munimanatosmi. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagadpate Gopesh Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vrindai Tulasi Devi Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta. Now all together.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you for coming. Done? Special thanks to the host, Kumari and Jagdish and Jeevan, who made such a wonderful arrangement and also cooking since morning for all of us in a series of today and tomorrow, 2 days lecture here. Today a very special day, so I'm just trying to combo because there are some guests here and also devotees. Auspicious days because of disappearance day of one of very prominent Acharya, Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, who just want to remember him to seek his blessing on this special day. One who was always chanting the names of the Lord day and night without even sleeping. I have not seen him, but I heard some senior Vaishnavas who associated with him, and they said we never saw him sleeping. Just like he has conquered sleep, which is so difficult. One who conquered sleep means Gudakesh. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he addressed Arjun as Gudakesh. Means, oh Arjun, you have conquered sleep. One who has conquered sleep, imagine he has conquered all the urges of mind. Everything. It is something so, I won't say difficult, but impossible. We can survive without eating, which is not possible, but still. But without sleep, it's terrible. One gets off if we don't sleep. Chemical imbalance. But that's for material bodies. But there is a special chemical in the spiritual bodies. What is that special chemical? The chemical of prem. And the chemical of bhakti means devotion. And they can do impossible possible. They can survive without eating for days. They can survive without sleeping for months and years. It's all about prem and devotion. Love and devotion. So because he was chanting day and night, he was getting all these energies for which he don't want any necessities and any comfort. He's not dependent on eating or sleeping. Because chanting and taking shelter of Krishna Nam, which is not different from Krishna. You know, this light is too much device. Just like, for example, Shukdev Goswami, who spoke Srimad Bhagavad Katha for how many days? 7 days, 7 nights, without eating, drinking and sleeping. How is that possible? Because he was constantly in contact or say in proximity with Krishna. Who is Krishna? The Supreme Lord. But Krishna was not present there. Of course he was present there. Because Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti Tatta Trishtanti Narada. That's the promise of the Lord. Wherever my pure devotee sings my glories or they speak my glories, I always present there. He can't resist coming there. So when Shukdev Goswami is speaking Bhagavatam Katha, Krishna was just there. Because who can be more pure than Shukdev Goswami? And if Krishna is close, then what is the necessity of eating or sleeping? Means everything is getting nourished with the proximity of Krishna in the form of his physical presence, his pastimes and his names. For us it may appear different because we are not realized. Or we chanting Hare Krishna, or we have seen the deities of Radha Krishna, but Krishna is somewhere else. He is not here. This is our realization. But when pure devotees like Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, when he sings or chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he's feeling the presence of Krishna. So those who have seen him, those who saw him and associated with him, they said, we never saw him sleeping. Always on his beats, he's chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And if ever he falls asleep, he used to get up with mridanga hanging on the drum hanging on his neck and start beating and singing different melodies. He was so fluent in learning all the Sanskrit ashtakams, the prayers. He was so fluent in that. He was well educated. And when he came to Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his name was on the list. Prabhupada used to have list to how many is going to get initiation today. So he saw his name, the Karmi name, means the name given by his parents. So Prabhupada, he wrote a spiritual name against that name called Sarveshwar Das. Sarveshwar Das. But after a while, somebody walked in the room and said, "Oh, you can't get initiation today. You're not qualified." And he said, "Well, that's fine, because if I'm qualified, I would have definitely got initiation. But since the announcement is there, I can't get initiation. That means I'm disqualified. So I'll wait for the time when I get qualified." And he was about to leave the room. Prabhupada stopped him. "Wait, you qualified." And that's why Srila Prabhupada, instead of giving his name Sarveshwar Das, he gave Swa Adhikaran Das. Means one who understands and reveals his qualification honestly. Revealing his qualification, that I'm not qualified, that's why I'm not getting initiation. Which is so important. Without initiation, how can we initiate the spiritual life? There's a first step in bhakti, in spiritual life, getting initiation. So, he used to sing day and night, non-stop. Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he's writing about his life history. Once upon a time, somewhere in North India, there was a big pandal program. Thousands of people were there. And in North India, people, they speak Punjabi, a different language. Whereas Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, he was from Bangladesh, Bengali speaking. So he was just singing some songs by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Bengali and some Sanskrit. It was seen in the audience, some people start shedding tears. They started shedding tears. They're not understanding what he's singing because it's different language. But to understand the language of love, there is no restriction of any barriers of any language. The language of love is understood can be easily understood very easily. So, even though he's singing Sanskrit, Bengali songs, then Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he asked his other devotee, "You sing Hindi." And when he began, "Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai," the audience said, No. We want to hear from him. One who was singing earlier, we want to hear from him. But there was asked that you don't understand the language. They said, but the emotions which he's giving, that's very high. Even though we don't understand what he's singing, but with that pure heart and with that emotions and tears in his eyes is giving us so much impact. Our hearts are melting to hear this. This is called association. Association. So Srila Maharaj described why it happens so. Because of the one reason is, the pure devotees of the Lord, they always, what are you doing? Raise. The pure devotees of the Lord, they carrying very high emotions, divine transcendental emotions in their heart. And when they sing and speak, this immediately get transmitted to the others. Immediately. And one feels by hearing from a pure devotee. It affects, it gives encouragement and inspiration, and gives a impact to the heart. This is all about spiritual dealings. Soul is spirit. Soul is pure in nature. And that's why soul has so much connectivity with purity. When a pure devotee sings and speaks, it goes directly into the heart. And when it touches the heart, one feels like surrender and giving everything to the person. But what can be given? Suppose if I have some wealth and I give to someone, of course I'm doing a great job. I'm helping someone with that wealth. But what is that wealth which spiritual divine personality is giving to us? They're giving the wealth of spiritual world, which is 3/4 opulence of the Lord. This material world is 1/4 opulence of the Lord, just 1/4. And spiritual world is 3/4. And spiritual means which is divine, transcendental, pure. And material means which is very gross and temporary in nature. So if I give my wealth to someone, even though I'm giving so much wealth, but still, as much I'm giving, this is still material. In comparison with what? Spiritual being giving to us. What they are giving to us? Spirituality, which is permanent in nature and happy and blissful in nature. Moment we come in association with devotees who are speaking about spirituality and enhancing one's consciousness to something high, it gives impact to the heart. Because as I was saying yesterday, what is that which is, because there were many devotees who were not present yesterday, so for them, everything in this world is unsure. But there's only one thing which is for sure. What is unsure? Weather. It was windy and storm, trees fell in the backyard, so much. And then again, it's change. That is sure or unsure? Unsure about weather. Unsure about the political situation of the country. Unsure about the health. Today I'm good, tomorrow maybe I'm not good. But one thing is sure, and that is we all have to leave this world one day. We all have to die one day. Do we believe this? No. We know this. We see this to our relatives, friends. We hear about them. We see with our own eyes. But if you touch your heart and ask yourself, am I going to die one day? No. That's so scary to even think that I will die. When I touch my heart, the answer comes, no, not you. Other dies. It's not for us. Is that true?
No.
So who's giving that answer?
You.
This answer is coming from soul. Soul never dies. It's body which dies. If I turn 70, 80, 90, 100, how long can I survive? I'm going to finish soon. But is that the end of my journey of the soul? No. There's going to be again a new birth. Small tiny baby walking in the house, pleasing everyone. Go back when we were all 4 or 5 years old. We were playing with toys and all. But after that, teenagers, young age, middle age, old age, this is happening again and again. It's not the first time it's happening like this. So association means when we start believing these facts, not just speaking and hearing these facts. I'm speaking this from 35 years. I'm hearing from 35, 40 years. But if I'm believing this or not, that matters. That matters. Everything is temporary and unsure. One thing is certain, for sure, one day I'm going to leave this world. And when I'm going to leave this world, I've not seen my past, I'm not going to see my future. But I can design my future. How to design my future? By doing good acts, by giving charity, by remembering the Lord, by worshipping Him, by chanting His names. So there is no excuse saying that, oh, I can't do this. Chanting names is so easy. Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, so I'm just trying to mix up everything, considering the audience. He was chanting day and night. The devotion which was present in his heart get transferred into the audience. And that's why they felt something heavy came on their heart. Heavy means not heavy like a burden, but heavy the gravity of spiritual emotions. Sometimes when we are in the audience, we are hearing something or singing or seeing the deities, tear comes in the eyes, out of nowhere. It happens. Why it happens so? Not with my own efforts or my devotion. It comes because of there's someone in the audience who's having a purity and who's looking at the deities. And I was looking at the deities. So his moods get from the deities, it get reflected back to us because of that. I'm not saying this. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying this. If I'm looking at the deities and all of a sudden tears comes in my eyes, or if I'm just singing and hearing something, heart starts melting and tears comes in the eyes, it's not because of my purity or my efforts. I'm disqualified in that. But because there is someone who is looking at deities with so much love, his love get reflect to us. And that's why we are also getting some spiritual emotions, tears in the eyes. It's the same formula we chanting. Means the same names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And devotees like Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj also singing. Same. So what is the difference then? The difference of realization and the difference of the purity. Any beginner, a neophyte in Krishna consciousness, in devotional life, chanting Hare Krishna every day. And anyone who is practicing 5 years, also chanting same. And one who is practicing 40 years, 50 years, also chanting same. But there is a gulf of difference in the realization and in the purity of chanting. So much difference. Please give them seat. Please come forward. Welcome. That matters. So, emphasize on this point. My journey. My journey. My journey means journey of my soul. So important. It all comes by realization. One story. There was one dacoit who was very expert. That was his profession. In stealing and robbing people, breaking house, all that, killing people. And from his very childhood, he was doing such acts. He was very rich. But gradually he turned old. And then one day his son came forward and he said, "Father, now I am grown up. I want to take over your profession. You just relax and live a retired life." What profession? Stealing, robbing people. Father said, "Well, that's very good. I'm very proud of you." I was thinking, who's going to be my successor? Who's going to hold my legacy? So it's better my own son. So, Father, I want to start this. From where to start? He said, there is no any specific house to start with to rob, but let me check some auspicious constellation to begin with. And he asked his priest, and he said, "Yeah, such and such day is very auspicious to start." First time profession, right? And a big ceremony was been done. One big tilak on his forehead and a garland. Everything was given. Worship was being done. Very funny story. So before he was leaving, he greeted his father and he said, "I'm very new in this profession. Can you give me some tips?" Father said, "There's no tips in that. You will learn, while working. You will learn by your own.
Experience.
By your experience, yes." But Father, anything to be very specific? You say, "Okay, if you're asking, okay, just one thing. So, only one thing. You will learn everything with your experience. But one thing I want to be aware of. I want to make you careful of. Don't ever sit in the association of devotees. That's detrimental, unfavorable to our profession. Wherever there is a spiritual lecture or class, Hari Katha going on, don't ever sit there. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your profession. So only this you have to consider. Otherwise, you will learn by your own. Okay, Father, so today I'm going midnight, 12 o'clock. And he was thinking my first day in this profession should be something big, not small. So he went to like a very wealthy person, like a kingly person. And he heard and learned from his father how he was doing things. And he applied same. So he went inside the room where the locker was there. He opened the locker, took all gold and cash, everything in his bag. And after this, there was alarms everywhere. Thief alarms. And then he got scared. He's trying to escape from that palace. And the guards were running here and there to find who did this. He came out running. And the guards were just chasing him. So he's thinking, today is a very difficult day for my life. because they are very close and they're from all corners. They can easily catch me. And the king is going to give me punishment, sentence to death. So today is a question of my life and death. What shall I do? What shall I do? And it's also my first day. I don't want to make my father feel bad about me. I'm in dilemma what to do. So he threw that bag behind the bushes and he climbed a tree. He sat on the branch of a tree and the guards are here and there searching for him. They're not looking up, they're just looking other directions. And he was sitting on the branch of a tree. And nearby there was one Bhagavad Katha going on. That means a spiritual lecture was going on. A saintly person was speaking the nature of this material world. And specifically the speaker was just saying, always remember, demigods, when they come on the planet Earth, they don't touch. How we can detect their demigods? 2 points. They don't touch the ground and they don't have shadows. Because they have subtle body, they have no gross body. Only the gross body have shadow. Subtle body doesn't have shadow. So when he was sitting on a branch of a tree, he heard this, just 2 points. For just 2 seconds he was sitting there. And he heard this point, demigods, when they come on this planet Earth, they don't have shadow and they what? They don't touch the ground. Yes, their feet don't touch the ground. They're always, floating in the air. He heard this and he saw all the guards gone. He came down and he took his bag, about to run away, but guards caught him and brought him to the king. Handcuffed and brought to the king. He is the one who stole your gold and cash and everything, your wealth. King said, well, arrest him, put him in a dark room, and I'm going to investigate. So king came in front of him and he said, listen, tell me truth. I will spare you if you tell truth. Did you stole my wealth? He said, no, sir. Believe me, I swear on you. I swear on you. I swear on your ancestors. I swear on everyone in your palace. I didn't. I'm just innocent person. I was just walking by in the forest and somehow your guards just caught me. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Then king was very clever. He said, okay. He told his guards, there's one divine demigoddess who lives in our palace. She always carries sword in her hands. She's from heaven. Yeah. And anyone who will tell lies, because she's demigoddess, she will come to know easy. Anyone who tell lies, she chop off the head. So bring that demigoddess here in front of this person and see if he's telling lie or truth. So king was trying to scare him. So one guard, he dressed like a sari and carrying a sword in his hand. So he came forward and it was a dark room with just one lamp was burning there. And he pretended to be she and she spoke, listen, I'm a demigoddess. I came from heaven. You can't lie to me because I easily understand. If you tell lies, I will come to know and I will swear you head. If you tell me truth, I will ask excuse from the king. Believe my words. Now he's thinking, what shall I do? If I tell truth, what's going to happen? The king is not going to spare me. And if I'm telling lies, then she's not going to spare me. So there's death on both sides. And then he remembered that what he heard when I was sitting on the branch of a tree. There was one sadhu, a saintly person was speaking something. And that sadhu and saintly person was saying, demigod and demigoddess, they don't have shadows and they don't touch the ground. Whereas I'm seeing she is on the ground and there's a lamp burning and I can see her shadow. That means some trick is going on. That means someone is trying to cheat me and a trick is going on. He said, I swear on you, O demigoddess, I swear on you, I've not done anything wrong. I'm not telling lies. Are you sure? Yes, yes, I'm sure. I swear on you. No, don't swear on me. And then the guard reported to the king that he's telling truth, he's innocent. Just leave him. And the king just kicked him out from his palace. Go away, wasted my time. And told his chastised his guards, go and get that thief. He's not the thief. So somehow, when he was thrown away from the palace, he got that bag from where he was, and he came back to his father. He said, Dad, today I saved my life. He said, but what happened? He said, because I got caught. It's the first experience was so bad. They say, yes, that was my first experience. But you know, something saved my life. And then he started describing. You know what saved my life? When I was on a tree, I heard a saintly person describing the nature of the demigods, those who come from heaven. Just for 2 seconds I heard this. And I got registered into my brain. And you know, then he described everything what happened. The demigoddess came, I saw the shadow, and I also saw the demigoddess was on the ground. Father said, well done, my boy, well done. You're very smart, you're very intellectual, very smart. I think you will grow more smart than me. Go ahead, my blessings to you. Steal as much as you can. But then he said, no, not at all. There's a turning point of my life. I want to give up this profession. I don't want. Father said, but why? He said, because just for 2 seconds, hearing this, my life got saved. And if I constantly hear the topics of spiritual topics or divine topics, what more will I get? If just for 2 seconds I heard a spiritual topic, it saved my life. And if I'm going to hear this again and again and again forever, I don't know what more will I get. So, excuse me, I don't want to serve you. I want to go to that saintly person. I want to serve him. No, boy, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. He said, Father, believe me, you also should follow me. We should all go to that saintly person and hear from him. Father said, I was telling you, this is against our profession. Don't hear from any saintly person, this is against our profession. And you did this, and you see, you spoiled, you ruined your profession. Then that boy came to that saintly person, paid obeisances to him, and just sat there and hearing, constantly hearing what he was speaking. And then he learned so much, so much, so much. After learning so much, only by hearing, because hearing is so important. Whatever we hear, we adopt that. Last year, I was in Houston. I was staying with one family, and they were describing in the midnight, they heard some gunshots, and they got so scared. But I said, those people were not in your house. He said, oh, no, it happened in the neighborhood. I said, why you scared? He said, because they can come and break in our house. They got scared just to hear the gunshots. So the point I'm making is hearing. If we are here, and it's just like a funny example, if you hear a lion roaring, it's so scary. Yeah. So hearing is so important. It can make us feel happy, can make us feel sad. And if we're hearing constantly spiritual topics, it giving us advancement, upliftment in our understanding of this human life. What is my life about? What is my life about? I was same toddler. Then I grew up. I became teenager. Then I'm young. And now I'm old. And there is not much time left. Not much time left for what? To give up my body. So is there any hope? If anyone asks this question, I've already turned 70, 80, 90, 95, 98. Is there any hope for me? Because my life is gone now. I can't change myself. Is still any hope? Yes. There's always a hope. Every moment, every second, there's a hope. We can improve our next life. How? By doing good acts in this life. Even if I have 1 hour of my life or even 1 moment of my life. There was one king, Yayati Maharaj. He asked demigods, how much time? Okay, long story. He served demigods, and in return demigods said, you ask anything from us, we can give you. And he said, I just want to know how much my life, how long I'm going to live. Just tell me this much. And they said, 1 muhurta means 36 minutes. Only this much, your lifespan. He was at the edge of dying. 36 minutes. We are not sure how many minutes or how many years. But he got sure from demigods. They can see future. And the king told demigods, okay, so I pay my obeisances, my respect, my greetings, you all please leave. And what he did, in that 30 minutes, he surrendered his emotions, his feelings, his everything to the Lord. Oh my Lord, whatever I've done in my past, please forgive me. I feel repentance for that. And now I am not capable or qualified, but with my emotions, with my heart, with my mind, I surrender myself to you. That's all. Just that's all. Honestly, with sincere heart, he did that. And he went to divine abode. The abode of the Lord, where the Lord resides. Just with this feeling of surrenderness. It gives us so much encouragement. But don't wait for the time that, oh, when I'm going to get old, then I will start. No. No time for this. Okay. So hearing is so important. If I hear about politics day and night, what is going to happen? I'll get so much into politics. But if I'm hearing spiritual topics, what will happen? My senses, my mind, my everything start getting spiritualized. Only by hearing. Hearing means adoption. There is a story of a ghost, Dhundakari, who was a ghost who did sinful acts in his life, throughout his life. Like every sin he did in his life. And therefore he got killed by some prostitutes. So he became ghost. And he was suffering a lot in that ghostly existence, ghostly body. Not body, but existence, I would say. They don't have bodies. They are subtle bodies. Suffering a lot. He wants to eat, but he can't eat because for eating we need a body. He wants to sleep, but can't sleep because we need a body. Wants to enjoy, needs a body. But they don't have body. Subtle body. Suffering so much. Suffering so much. So therefore he approached to his brother. Please, can you help me in this state of I'm a ghost now. His brother, Gokarna, he started speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. For those who don't know, spiritual discourses. And this ghost, Dhundakari, was he entered into a bamboo stick. Because subtle means very subtle. It can go anywhere, in any hole. He went into a bamboo stick. And he heard 7 days and 7 nights. He just heard. Just heard. He didn't got any chance to practice. This is what I'm trying to emphasize on. For practice, we need a body. If I say, clap and sing Hare Krishna, we need a body to clap. We need hands. Yeah. For practice, we need body. But for adoption, we don't need body. Means body is not essential. Adoption can also be done with subtle body. Because subtle body made of mind, intelligence and false ego. So mind is there, intelligence is there and ego is there. There's a composition of subtle body. Anything which we hear and we adopt, it gets stored in that subtle body, in that section. So hearing is so important. That ghost, Dhundakari, I'm referring to, he was in a bamboo stick for 7 days and he heard spiritual discourses. And after that, just by hearing and adoption, oh, what I'm hearing, I really want to follow. What I'm hearing, I really want to adopt. Even though I can't, but I want. There's 2 different things. I can't, but I want. There is a qualification required for can and can't. Yes? But there is no qualification required for wanting. You understand this point? A young boy can't lift 100 pounds. Small tiny boy. So he's qualified and disqualified according to his status. But if he say, I really want, who can stop him? No one can stop his desire to lift that 100 pounds. We can do, that's different. But we want to do, that matters a lot. And spiritual world and spiritual life means what we want. It's not what we can or we can't. It's all what we want. So how this point of longing or say I desire, how it get evoked in the heart? I really want. Oh Krishna, with my sincere heart, I want to worship you, but I can't. So I get disqualified with my status of my qualification. But no one can disqualify my wanting. No one can disqualify that. That's my personal issue. No one can stop me wanting this. No? And spiritual life means everything about wanting. This song book is all about I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. All these songs is about, I desire for this, I want this. But I know very well I'm not qualified. But there is no any regulation or qualification required for wanting. Get my point? But how this desire come or develop in our heart to want this? How many people in Austin want this? No, I mean, if you see the population of Austin, compare with how many of us we want this. Just handful. Not even 1%, I'm saying. Not even 1%. The other day I was speaking to Jagdish that how many devotees we have in Austin? Overall, 1,000 max? 2,000 max? Can't be beyond 1,000, right? And compare with the population. Handful. I want. So how this encouragement comes? I want. Only by hearing. That's all. And our endeavors, our efforts, coming all the way from different locations, driving 1 hour, 2 hours. For what? Just to have a meal? A sanctified food, a meal? We can easily get at our home. It's just about dinner. Or it's just about a spiritual party. No, sir. This is about hearing. That one click can change our life and the prospect of our life. Just one click. It can happen any moment. And this encouragement, it comes through hearing. Why we preachers come all the way from India? 20-hour flight. Can you imagine? Sitting like this on a seat like somebody's like playing a game freeze. And we're just like, okay, 20 hours. And the guy next to can do anything, fall, sleep on the shoulder or spill water or whatever. Can't do anything. You're just like, I'm just like arrested there. And if I try to walk, then all of a sudden then, oh, excuse me ladies and gentlemen, there's a turbulence, please sit down. Okay, what to do? You know? Traveling so far, spending so much money. For what? To see deers in Austin? To have sightseeings? No, sir. Just to give that want. That small, tiny word. It has so much significance. This word is so small, but it plays a very important role in our life. Very, very important role in our life. I really want this. In other words, want means greed. And greed is the only means to uplift the consciousness or the status to enter into spiritual world. Greed. A greedy person, what he can't or she can't do. Greed for anything. So what about the greed for spirituality? What about that? We are obliged. We are obliged to the Divine Lord that He is giving us this opportunity. in this human life, which is not easily accessible in any other species of life. Birds, animals, trees, insects, plants. They also hear, but they can't understand what we say. You know? They also hear. I see deer just by walking on the road, they just, with their ears raised, they hear, but they don't hear what I'm saying. They get scared and they just run away. And their life is only meant to eat grass, sleep, or producing children. And if someone comes, get scared, just run away, defending. But we humans, we are very important. Very important. Our hearing and their hearing. Their greed is only restricted to eating. Our greed is not about eating. Our greed is about progression. To progress. Not materially progress. Spiritually progress. And this all comes by association. Association. Keep on hearing these topics. I'm sure some percentage of greed will definitely going to arise in the heart. To understand what is the purpose of my life and who and who am I? And what is my purpose? Why I'm here? Is this the first time or the last time? You know, we should question ourselves. The days and nights are passing like this. Why I am here? What's going to be the next? All these questions. And from these questions, spirituality begins from these questions. My eyes, my nose, my ears, my hands, my house, my family, my society, my country. We don't say I eyes, I nose, I mouth, I hands, I country. Everything is my. So is I derived from mine or mine derived from I? If there is no I, there is no my. Understand? If there is no I, then there is no my. My derived from I. I is the root. If I am not there, nothing is mine. I means what? Oh, my whole body is lying on the ground, not reciprocating anything, not speaking, not feeling. But I is, my is present there, I absent from the body. What is that I? Spirit. Soul. You know? This soul absent from the body. And body stop reacting. Stop reciprocating. Nothing. Just that I got absent from the body. Nothing is mine. My body is not mine. My wealth is not mine. How to use our wealth? Something which I possess, I own. There are many ways I can use my wealth. Many ways. I can spend that wealth in my enjoyment, but how much can you enjoy? In old age, there is not enjoyment anymore. Struggling life. Can't eat, can't sleep. Even struggling with necessities. That's true. Every country. In India, China, Russia, everyone. Because human body is like this. What can I do with my wealth? To do something good, with that investment, I'm going to bear interest for my next life. If I invest my wealth somewhere, I'm going to get interest. The capital will be there and also interest will be there. So if I'm investing something in spirituality, the investment is there, the capital is there, and the interest is also there. I keep on getting those interest. Huh? If we believe in spirituality. These are the facts. So, not only investing the wealth, that's not my point. Investing my body, my consciousness, my emotions, my possessions. If we try investing in this bank, we should never get fail. This is the best bank. We hear, some banks get closed. Economy lost, this lost, that lost. This bank never ever got closed. And the interest rate is very high. Very high. Yeah. So high that it can take us from this world to that world. The world of happiness, the world of bliss, the world of permanent situation. By chanting Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. It's that simple. For newcomers, this is just a formula to remember, which is so easy. If we can't remember, we can see on a piece of paper and can repeat. Just repeating this again and again and wanting that. That's all we need. Nothing difficult in that. It's so simple, easy process to get proximity with Lord. Most easiest process. And Srimad Bhagavatam says, the essence of all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varnam Atusha Krishna Sangapang Astra Pashadam Yagya Sankirtan Prahi Jajantihi Sumedasa. The word Sumedasa means the most intellectual person. Sumedasa. Most intellectual person. Who is that? One who has done master's, PhD in the unis? No. Or stamped by any university? Of course, in this world, yes, we know there are so many mastermind, intellectual personalities. Due respect to them. I'm not condemning them. Of course, they have God gift. But from the spiritual perspective and from the essence of the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam claims, who is the most intellectual person? Krishna Varnam Atusha Krishna Sangapang Astra Pashadam. One who take shelter and chant the name of the Lord is considered to be the most intellectual person. I'm not saying this. I'm not claiming this. The holy books, the holy scriptures, they claim this. Yagya Sankirtan Pray Yajantihi Sumedasa. One who worships Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with this Mahamantra is considered to be the most intellectual person. Sumedasa. So, no pain, no gain. That's the theory. Some pain is required to get some gain. And I'm learning this since morning. Yes, Jagdish? No pain, no gain. He's teaching me today. He's teaching me sacrifice. If you sacrifice this, you get some gain. So, actually sacrifice means a lot. Yes? If you have to detox your body, you need sacrifice, yes? You can't have pasta, you can't have palak paneer. You can't eat that, you can't eat that. So means sacrifice. And something is gaining simultaneously with that sacrifice, right? Sacrifice always gives gain. Sacrifice is never giving you loss. Sacrifice always giving gains. So try to sacrifice whatever Lord has given you. Physical strength, intellect, emotions, good heart, feelings, possessions, wealth, whatever Lord has given you, just give a portion of that in the service of the Lord. If you're very strong, physically strong, give your body strength in serving the devotees. Play drums, you're strong. If the Lord has given you art of singing, and Narsingha was singing here, Jagdish Prabhu sings so good. So use that singing, your voice, in the service of the Lord. Whatever the Lord has given you, any qualities, at any age. Oh, I'm too young, I'm just 8-year-old, I can't do much. Whatever you can do in that age. Oh, now I'm old, I can't do anything. Whatever Lord has given you, just give a portion of that in the service of the Lord and make your life successful life. Otherwise, who's going to? If I'm very powerful, say I'm very strong, powerful, I have muscles, I don't have actually. If I'm not using my strength, yes, you see, he's so strong and powerful. If he's not using his strength, then what is the use? The Lord has given him this quality of speaking, singing. So with body, mind and words. If I'm using my body, my mind and words in service of the Lord. He has eyes, he sees everything. What you have given to him, what you are hiding from him, he's seeing everything. Big eyes. Jagannath eyes. If you go eye treatment, I was there 4 years back. They put some drops in your eyes get dilated. Then everything looks so blurry, you can't see. Big eyes. Lord Jagannath, he has big eyes. He sees everything what you have and how much you're investing in that sacrifice. Just invest in that sacrifice and you see what you're going to get in return. There'll be no loss, always gain. In abundance, you can't hold that when he's going to give that interest of your sacrifice, investment of your sacrifice. So investing in spiritual life, is investing in spirituality is the best investment forever. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I don't want your both hands for clapping. I want your ears. So that I can fill those ears with some spiritual topics. If you like something, hold in your heart. If you don't like something, then just forgive me and excuse me, because I tried my best to give you the best, and that's the best knowledge amongst all other knowledge. Like if I study, it takes 12 years to become a doctor, sometimes 15 years. So if I'm a doctor, if I'm a doctor for say 80 years, when I'm going to die, in my next life I have to start again. I'm not going to hold that degree again. I'm not going to born as doctor, or or attorney. You have to study again. Huh? That's the nature of this world. But in spiritual matters, whatever I have learned so far, or I have invested my energy in spiritual matters, is never going to get destroyed. There's a promise Krishna, the Lord, is giving to all of us. Kaunteya pratijani name bhakta parnashyati. Never going to destroy, never going to end. It's always going to be my property forever. This is for sure. Yes.
I have two questions. One is a bit more, I'd say materialistic than the other. My first question is, you talk a lot about like hearing the Lord and hearing like chanting around us, and that's the most meaningful thing we can do. But I was thinking about it, and one of my very close friends from school, Quinn, is completely deaf. He has to use hearing aids, and without them, he can't hear anything. How does somebody with like hearing damage able to hear the Lord's name if they can't?
Very nice. Very good question. So, you all heard it. You all, huh? So, suppose if you're crying in front of her, yeah, if you're just weeping and crying, can she hear you? Or
No.
can she feel why you're crying? If you get emotional and crying in front of her or him, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Girl or boy?
Quinn is a guy.
Okay. So if you're crying, and if he seeing you crying, is going to affect him or not?
Yeah, he'd care.
But he can't hear you, but he can feel you by eyes. So for those who can't hear, deaf, they still can hear you by seeing your emotions with the eyes. You know? Gurudev used to give example that suppose if a child dies and a mom is crying, so much crying, say in English language, oh my child died. So any other language guy walking by, Spanish, Chinese, Russian, don't understand English, but immediately understand the emotion the mother is going through. It's all about emotions. So even he can't hear, but he can feel if you cry or if you express your happiness or bliss, or if you're expressing your love, he can feel that. So if we, ordinary human being, can feel that, what to speak of Lord? So if anyone who can't hear, but Lord can hear him speaking in his heart, because he's situated in the heart. Anything is in our heart, he can hear very easily, even if he express or we don't express. He's very sharp ears. Even when he's sleeping, he hears us. That's the specialty. Even he's sleeping, he can see us. Even if he's sleeping, and he can hear us. If the Lord is sleeping in the night, and if you call for protection, he comes and helps you. Second question.
This next question is a little loaded, I'd say, but you talk about how when we die, we'll be reincarnated into our next body, and that only our body will die, but our soul will live on. So, how are souls created?
How the soul is created?
Yeah.
Spirit cannot be created. The word spiritual, anything related to spirit is spiritual. So spirit and spiritual is not created, and that makes that spirit and spiritual makes that permanent. Anything with matter is material, which is created and destroyed. So the language or the definition of material is which is created and get destroyed, is always temporary. But spiritual world and spirit have never been created. It's eternal. There is no beginning There's no any account or record where it begins with. It is eternal. We can't say billion, we can't say trillion, we can't say 100,000 or 1,000,000 trillion, even that is less. It is eternal. So that makes the word spiritual called permanent. So spirit, spirit means soul means, soul means what? Eternal. The Lord is eternal. The Lord means super soul. We are soul. He is eternal, we are eternal, and our relationship is eternal. But right now, what's happening is we are forgetting that relationship. With an example, if I take a cup of water, I have a cup of water here. So, as we all know, water is, the nature of water is liquid, right? It flows. It's liquid. If I keep this in the freezer, what's going to happen? Freeze, ice. It becomes solid. Instead of liquid flowing, it becomes solid. But the nature of liquidity is still present in that strong ice, in that solid ice. Nature is still inherent in it. But because of some temperature, it got freeze. Moment I am going to take out that water from the freezer and keep out just for say 10 minutes, again that ice will become liquid, water. Understand this? This is easy to understand, right? This is what's happening with us. We are spirits, means soul, permanent nature. But because of that temperature, temperature means the covering of this material, the consciousness, the material emotions and material covering, consciousness of people or the environment, with this temperature we got solid like ice. Means forgetting who Krishna is, who my Lord is, and who I am. You're forgetting that. Because of this temperature, freeze. Moment the ice taken out from the fridge, it again assume the same nature as it was before. So this temperature, moment we get association of devotees and we hear the spiritual matters, the spiritual topics, what will happen? The ice again turns to the same liquid. Means we regain our that lost memory. We regain that. Oh yes, I'm spirit, I forgot that. I forgot that I'm spirit. You know, sometimes a person go through any accident, lost his memory. And the doctor gives what? Electric shocks. And when this doesn't work, then the doctor tells relatives in India, the doctors tell, take him to those places where he was fond of. Because if you see those places, the memory comes back, recall.
Wow.
So because we have lost our memory, to understand He is my origin, the Lord is my origin, I lost my memory because the accident happened. And when the sadhus comes, they give electric shocks.
To the heart.
And the senses get electrified. And then sadhus tell, oh, take them to those places. Means, take them to Vrindavan. They'll recall, they'll come back to their memories. Yes, yes, I'm remembering, yes. I belong to the Lord, yes, I'm understanding this. The memory is coming back. This is how it works. Got the point? So, water is liquid, but when put in fridge, it becomes solid. It becomes ice. But we bring back ice from the fridge, it turns to liquid again. Same example applies to us. Okay?
You're thawing our heart.
Hare Krishna. So I want Jagdish to touch our hearts by his singing, ending up. Come on the hot spot. Oh, better there. This better. Bring harmonium here. Please give harmonium. Sit in front of me there, Jagdish Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming, and please come again tomorrow.
Yes.
Same time.
Sripad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga.
Hari